Ahoy everyone, my name is theSirhc and welcome back to another episode here on Satisfactory. I suppose it's time for us to get rid of our Fixmas decorations. Fixmas is officially over and it's time to clean up the tree here in our little valley by our starter factory. We are going to leave one tree up. We've still got, and we can see it from all the way over here. We've still got our giant Fixmas tree up in the mesa by our Fixmas factory. We'll leave that thing up all year long to, just give us some holiday cheer to get us through the year. That'll just be a nice permanent fixture of our own little North Pole here in our world. But it's time for us to move on with our regularly scheduled Satisfactoring. And I've been doing a little building here on the factory. Not a whole lot. I just got this whole place enclosed. Played around with some of the new parts we got, like the doors and the ladders, and of course gave it a nice paint job with the cyan and magenta. I've made the default color for the foundations black, and oh, I love it. It just looks so slick. It's a pretty small change, but I think it makes a big difference. I really enjoy that. Now this is a very rough build yet. We're still in the early stages of design. It's looking pretty boxy and plain. A lot of like big, samey walls that I need to fix. I need to break up and add detail to. I'm still really learning how to build in this game. I haven't done a whole lot. So I'm figuring that out, what kind of things we can do. But also we have a very limited building palette at the moment. We basically just have one type of wall, one type of foundation, and that's it. Not a whole lot of things to play around with. So before we can really dive into the building, we need to unlock some new building parts from this awesome shop that we unlocked last episode. This thing offers up a whole bunch of new stuff. We've got walkways and stairs, beams, frames, pillars. We've got different types of walls, different types of foundations, different materials for the walls and foundations, and all this stuff we need to purchase with these coupons. Right now I think we have one coupon left over from last episode. So we need to get some of those, and that's going to be our first focus today. The way we do that is with this awesome sink. Basically with this building we can send it our excess items and it will give us points for them, and then it will turn those points into coupons. So like over here I've got the storage container filled with some just extra items that we don't need. My storage room is all full up there. So we can run a belt into this machine, grab some power. Actually, let's grab a faster belt so this unloads faster. And that's going to start feeding items into our awesome sink. Right now it takes 1,000 points to get coupons, and as the items go in, the number of points goes down there. And once we get enough points, we get ourselves a printable coupon, which we can print out, and then we can take this and spend it in the awesome shop. Now the number of points you get is determined by how expensive the item is that you're sending in. Like these are rotors, they're a little bit more complex parts, a bit more expensive. So right now we're getting 4,500 points per minute, and our coupons are stacking up very quickly. So if we want to get ourselves a bunch of coupons to spend in the shop, we're going to want to feed this thing some expensive items. And one really good early game one is something called Quartz crystal, which to unlock we're gonna have to go into the MAM here, into the Quartz research tree, and do a bit of research here. So here we opened up a research node for the Quartz crystal recipe. This is a very easy thing to craft, but it gives you quite a few points. And to do this research we just need 20 raw quartz. We can now scan for quartz since we did that first research. And we've got a quartz node about 1,300 meters in that direction. So we're gonna head over there and get some machines placed down so we can start getting ourselves some easy coupons. And there's our quartz nodes. Let's hop down there. I do hear some creatures. Maybe we should get ready for that. Oh yeah, right there. Ooh, you're camouflaged. I almost didn't see you at first. Ow. There we go. Just make quick work of these guys. They're pretty low-level spitters. Although they still hurt. They still hurt. Stop. There we go. Grab their organs. Gotta keep those. And then we can head over here, mine up a little bit of quartz. We need 20 of this for the next research. There we go. Now we can place down our MAM research building and do a quick quartz crystal research. And now we've got the quartz crystal recipe. So let's get some miners placed down on these nodes, and we can start building our machines. And there we go. We've got our little quartz factory set up. We've got 2 miners mining up the rock quartz and 4 constructors each to craft the quartz crystal. And then I've got 2 of these awesome sinks to dump that crystal into. So we just need to hook up the power and turn this baby on. And here comes that rock quartz into all of the machines. And there goes our quartz crystal, all heading into our awesome sinks, which looks like they're churning away, recycling those items. And it looks like with all this quartz crystal, we're getting a nice 7,200 points per minute, which isn't too bad, although you may notice the price for each coupon actually goes up as you get more and more coupons. So right now we're up to, what was that, 1,900 points for each coupon. So it still takes a couple of minutes, few minutes for every coupon, and it's gonna get longer and longer. But the nice thing is that this is just a passive factory running and getting us those points. So it's gonna keep getting us those coupons as we go out and do other things in the world. Now, while we let this little factory run, we are gonna start on a new project, on a new factory. We need to start producing steel and steel parts in order to progress in this game. And so we're gonna build ourselves a little starter steel factory. And I think we're gonna do that right over here because it's a nice building area. Should give us plenty of space to do it. We also have what we need around here. We've got some iron nodes on the other side of this rock formation. We also have coal. Actually, you can see right there, there's a coal node right there. I don't know why it didn't pop up there. There we go. Yeah, we've got a coal node there, so we can make our steel out of that. Plus, we've got some limestone here and some copper nodes for some of the parts, the more complex parts. So I'm going to start laying down some foundations. We'll get some miners placed down and just start crafting up those basic steel parts. Alright, so I've got a plan here for the new factory. Got all of the machines placed down that we're going to need. I'll probably move some stuff around to make the building more interesting and give myself some more space for belts and just for getting around the factory. But this is going to be our basic layout here. So down at the bottom over there, we've got the foundries to smelt up our steel ingots. Then we've got some constructors to make the steel beams and steel pipes. The second floor is all for iron rods and screws. And then on the top floor, we're going to be making copper wire, concrete, and the encased industrial beams, which will be one of the new parts coming out of this factory. And then on the bottom over here, we've got our final assembly area where we're going to be making rotors, stators, one of the new parts, and then finally the motors, which is the other new part. Now, before we start setting up this entire factory, we need to head back to the hub and complete a couple of milestones. We don't have the recipes for the advanced steel parts unlocked yet, so we'll have to get those. And I also want to unlock the Mark III belts. That will allow us to bring in enough coal and iron to supply all of these foundries and make enough steel ingots for the factory. But to unlock those milestones, we actually need to start crafting these steel beams and steel pipes. So I'll have to get this part of the factory running kind of temporarily so we can start getting those basic steel parts, and then we'll be able to go back and unlock those more advanced things that we need. And our steel factory is starting to run here. We've got the iron coming in from that way down here, and the coal coming in from up there, getting put into these foundries here, smelting up into steel ingots, and then those are going into the constructors. And we've got our steel pipes and our steel beams getting collected in these storage containers. So we've got enough to head back to the hub now. Now back at the hub here, the milestones we need to unlock are in tier 4. We've got the advanced steel production. So these are those parts that we need to make: the industrial or encased industrial beam, the stator, and the motor. We also get miner Mark IIs, so we can get double the ore output from ore nodes, as well as a couple of other complex parts. And then logistics Mark III, which will give us the Mark III conveyor belts, faster belts. We'll get faster lifts, stackable pipelines, which would be nice, and the industrial storage container. This thing is really nice. It's basically just a double storage container, so we could use this in our storage room instead of using 2 containers and a lift up there. Make it a little bit more neat. So let's get these unlocked, throw all of our items in here. There we go. We'll launch the pod, and let's see if we can get on top. Let's see if it launches us like it did last time.
Logistics can be improved with a larger storage
And
container.
up, there we go. That's right, I just added that ladder, didn't I? I don't know if we had that last time. Oh, looks like we're actually riding it up. Nice. So now we can get a nice aerial view of the world. Check it out. Factory's looking pretty much the same besides the paint job. We've got the Fixmas factory way off in the distance over there with our giant bridge going across the canyon. Oh, and we still have some of the old Fixmas factory too that I still need to clean up and take that down. We've got our coal power plant over there with the new paint job, the magenta pipes, and the cyan coal power plants. What about what we're working on today? Where's that at? Oh, I see. Yeah, there's a couple of miners right there mining up the iron. So our factory's right there. Looks like it's a little out of render distance. Can't quite see any of the machines. But yeah, that's where we're working right now. Kind of on the other side of the northern forest over here. So now I can go up to our storage room here, and I can switch all of these out for the industrial storage container. We are going to have lots of extra parts here. There we go. That's all cleaned up. I just made a temporary container over here. So now we can grab this and put it where the old one was. And is that going to connect automatically? No, it doesn't look like it. Okay, so we can just rerun this belt into here. It's got 2 outputs and 2 inputs, kind of like just having 2 storage containers. It's basically the same thing we had before. We just don't have to have the lifts on the backside, and we can access the whole inventory from one screen rather than having 2 separate inventories. I'm not going to bother with switching all of these containers out right now though, because we're going to be coming back here and redoing some of this stuff. I want to incorporate an awesome sink into here so that all of these excess parts that we're making can go into coupons, and we can keep this factory running. So we'll return to this in the future, but for now let's head back to the steel factory and we can keep working on that. Back at our steel factory here, we can start to implement those new things we unlocked. I've got 6 foundries smelting away here, making us the steel ingots, and each of these requires 45 iron ore and 45 coal per minute, which if you add up equals 270 items per minute, which just so happens to be the exact amount that a Mark III belt moves, 270 resources per minute. So basically we need a full Mark III belt of coal and a full Mark III belt of iron ore coming into here. So now that we've got those, we can switch out all of these Mark IIs. And then we need to increase the output of our miner here as well, because this is only outputting 120. So if we change this out to a Mark II, that's going to double our output. So this gives us 240 coal per minute. And if we throw in a power shard, we can increase this to 270. So now we'll have just the right amount of coal coming into our steel factory. And then we can do the same with the iron ore on the other side. Switch out all these belts to Mark III belts. And we'll just replace these last few belts here. There we go. And then we can replace this miner with a miner Mark II. and throw in a power shard. 270 items per minute. There we go. So now we've got our iron ore and our coal all set up, which means we should be able to craft all of the steel ingots that we need for our factory. There we go. We've got another factory designed here. I've got all the splitters and mergers placed down, all of the belts and conveyor lifts ran throughout the factory so all the items can get to where they need to go. I brought in all of the resources from the resource nodes over there and moved some machines around. Like this top floor I made into 2 separate sections. I think that's going to look a little bit more interesting and just kind of gave some more space to everything. And we've got our storage room over there. We've got our new industrial storage containers getting fed by our main bus there with all the parts we're going to be crafting. The only things we're crafting yet are the steel pipes and the steel beams. Those are the only machines that are running because everything else still needs power ran to it. I haven't run any of the power cables because I don't really want to use the power poles. Instead, for a nice clean look, I want to use the wall attachments, the wall outlets that you can buy in the shop. So let's head on over to the Quartz factory. I've spent a while laying out that factory over there, so we should have a decent number of coupons stocked up here, and 60 of them, yes. Let's get those printed off, and we should be able to go on a very nice shopping spree. Let's get away from these noisy machines. Maybe over here, get our awesome shop placed down. And in here, the main thing I want, what I was talking about, is these wall power outlets Mark 1. There we go. So I guess those just attach the walls. I'm not sure if we can make them attached to foundations or if we have to like make them float. I suppose one thing we could do is we could get like these beams or maybe these pillars. I'm not sure exactly how these all work, but we could use these on the ceiling to attach our outlets to. Let's just buy a bunch of this stuff. Stairs and walkways we definitely want so we can get around better. Let's get these double ramps and inverted corner ramp packs. I do want the conveyor lift floor hole. Oh, we do have some signs unlocked. I wonder if those unlocked when we did the quartz research. Let's get some of those. Maybe we'll leave the big signs, but it'd be nice to have those smaller ones. And the last thing I'll get is maybe this conveyor wall mount. I've got 2 coupons left. There we go. We've got an even 60. Let's buy all of that stuff. We shouldn't have anything in the purchases. It's all just recipes. So now if we grab those wall outlets in power here, wall outlet Mark 1, we can place them on the ceiling. Oh, that's going to be nice. Okay, so now we can grab these things and put them along the ceiling. Let's grab our power cables, and we can just run cables like that, and then we can bring power down from the ceiling to our machines, which I think is going to look a lot cleaner. All right, we've got our power running through our factory now. Everything should be hooked up to our cables, and all that's left to do is to connect these 2 right here, and everything should turn on and kick into action. I don't see any red lights down here, so that's a good sign. Yeah. So yeah, we've got our power lines just running along the ceiling here and along the wall, looking nice and neat. One thing really nice about the black foundations is that it really hides the power lines. Although down here we have a really tall ceiling, and I'm not sure how much I like those cables dangling down. It seems like a lot of cable there. I might have to do something to decorate those power lines, but for now I'm pretty happy with that. Let's head up to the upper floors. Up here, the ceiling is just a little bit lower, and I think this looks a lot nicer. The cables aren't quite so long, and they don't look so awkward and out of place. Definitely looks a bit cleaner there. And I think I just noticed that that is wrong. That needs to go up 1 spot. Let's fix that quick. There we go. Now that conveyor is nice and level. And again, I don't see any red lights up here, so everything should be connected. Looks pretty good. And it looks like we've got green lights up here as well. Yep, green lights over there. Very cool. All the machines are hooked up. Everything is moving. So we can take a little tour of this place and see what's going on. We'll start our tour out here where we're getting the resources for the factory. So we've got a copper node over here getting mined up and some smelters smelting up the copper ingots out here. That way we have a little less machines in our actual factory. It's just as easy to belt in the ingots. And then up ahead here we've got 2 miners on iron nodes. This one we saw before. That's the Mark II miner getting us all of the iron ore for the steel ingots. And then back here we've got another miner mining up iron for iron ingots. And all of these are getting belted down through here. Got a little foundation pathway coming into our factory on this side. So we've got these 3 resources entering the factory. On this side we've got the copper getting brought up to the 3rd floor. Iron ingots go to the 2nd floor here, and then the iron ore heads down to the main floor and getting combined with the coal that's getting brought in on the other side in these foundries, smelting up into the steel ingots. Then we've got 3 constructors over here churning out the steel beams. The steel beams, they get split off. Some of them get sent over to the storage, and then some of them get sent up to the 3rd floor here. And then we've got the steel pipes getting made over here in these 3 constructors, and those are just coming over to these assemblers. Up on the 2nd floor here, all these iron ingots come in and get crafted into iron rods. We've got a bunch of constructors making those. The iron rods from this group get sent over to those constructors to make a bunch of screws. And then all the other rods coming from these 4 constructors, they just head over top, over to the back wall, and then down to the main floor. All of these screws here are also getting sent to the main floor to our final assembly area. And up on the top floor here, we've got our copper ingots coming in over here. Those are all getting constructed into copper wire, and the copper wire is just getting sent over here and down to our final assembly area, getting combined with the steel pipes down there. And over on this side we've got a miner back there mining up limestone. That's coming into the factory here, into these constructors to make concrete. And then we've got our steel beams coming from the bottom floor over there, getting lifted up, brought into here into this assembler. And those 2 are getting combined into the encased industrial beam. And then that just heads off down to our storage room there. And finally, down here in our final assembly area, we've got those copper wire and steel pipes to make the stators in these assemblers here. And then on the opposite side, we've got our iron rods coming down and our screws coming down, both getting combined in these assemblers to make the rotors. And then those rotors and stators are making their way down to this assembler to make the motors. And then we also have some extra parts getting brought down this line. All of the parts that were getting crafted just end up on this main bus and into our storage room, which we can actually put labels on our storage room now. Now that we've unlocked these signs, we've got a bunch of different sizes to play with. We've got real tiny ones. We've got slightly bigger ones. We got some skinny ones to play with. Display signs, portrait sign. Does that not even go on there? It doesn't go on the front, but we can put it on the side. That's pretty neat. Although it looks like we need the quartz crystal in order to craft any of these. I think we'll go with the square 2-meter signs for this. That should be a good size. And what do we have here? Okay, so we can change the icon here. What's in this first one? This one is the motors. So if we go in here and select motor, select that image, and then we can change our colors. Let's do magenta, and I'm not sure what the other colors are for. We've got background. Oh, we can add different backgrounds. Oh, maybe that's what those other colors are for. Wait, go back. Select these. So if I went like magenta or cyan here. Yeah, okay. So with these patterns, you can add some more colors. I don't think we will have a color though. Maybe we'll do, let's do just all magenta here. Yeah, something real simple. Emission strength. I think these signs can actually give off light. So 3 is like the highest, the brightest you can set it. Then we have glossy and matte as well. Let's just try matte and the brightest. Oh, okay, that's really bright. No, let's put that down. Maybe number 1. There we go. Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Oh, it's so nice to have signs in this game. That is amazing. And I think there's more stuff you can do as well. Oh, there's different layouts. Oh, we could make the image bigger, it looks like. I'm not sure what these other options are for. And there we go. We got a nice labeled storage room with the new signs. The storage is filling up with all the parts. Factory is working away, working hard to craft all of the items we need here. And that is our brand new steel factory here. Got a nice overview of the whole building, the whole factory working away. I placed a bunch of walls kind of outlining the building so we can get a nice sense of what it's going to look like when it's all done. Although this is as far as we're going to get today, mainly because of time, but also there's still some stuff we need to unlock in the awesome shop. There's some other building tools we need to get. One that really comes to mind is glass. We haven't unlocked that yet. It's not even an option yet in the shop, so I'm not sure what we need to do to open that up. But I definitely want to incorporate glass in this build specifically, but I'm sure in most of my builds it'd be nice to have those big windows and let that natural light in. And let's go take another look at our quartz factory here. I've expanded it quite a bit now that we've got the Mark II miners and the Mark III belts. So we've got a total of 16 constructors here now crafting the quartz crystal and sending it off into our awesome sinks over here. So now we're making a nice 15,000, almost 16,000 points per minute, which is good because coupons are getting insanely expensive. We're 96% of the way through, and it still takes 10,000. Let's see what the price of coupons are now these days. Wow, like 300,000 almost, 280 some thousand. Ah, man, inflation is nuts. So we've got 15 more coupons we can spend at the shop. But yeah, it's gonna take a while to get a load more. But anyways, that is going to do it for us today. I hope you guys enjoyed the episode, enjoyed the factory build here. If you did, make sure to leave a like down below. It really helps out the channel. Subscribe if you want to see more content like this. Continue on with the Satisfactory series. And we'll see you all next time. Goodbye, folks.